as I said, in school, if I was to kind of go back into my memories of you as a person in school, like I said, you were able to speak to a lot of people. You were well liked by everybody, and I always remember you was always with a basketball. Like basketball seemed to be that's in my mind. Basketball was your thing. Um, Obviously, me as the fat kid in school, I weren't trying to play no sports, but but um, but I definitely remember that you were the basketball. You were probably maybe the only person that I would class as a friend that played basketball, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think everyone played football, and I remember you were the basketball. So
Basketball, my
yeah,
life, man.
yeah.
James
So
Park. James Park.
all right.
Yeah. Me and my older brother and the group of people, like we'll go there every single day. Every single day. Play till it gets dark. You know, when you're young, you have energy for days.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and like when I say basketball was my thing, it took a teacher. Remember Mr. Wall?
Yeah,
PE
of
teacher,
course.
Mr. Wall.
Yeah,
He said to me, junior back then, he said
yeah.
to me, look, I don't think you're going to make it to the NBA. Like, I don't think like you're going to make it to it. Because that's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
That's like, that was a serious thing that I wanted to do. And he just kind of said, I don't think that's going to happen. And then I moved to Hackney. So I can say this because of what I'm going to say after. So at Elwood, I was like the best in the school.
Yeah.
Up to a certain point, up to a certain age, I was like I was the team captain, I think, of the basketball team. And then what happened is I moved to Hackney, and then I started training with London Towers. Now, London Towers, if you don't know, are like, or were at the time anyway, they were like the best team in the country. Some of the players there would then go to America. Some even reach the NBA. Like, this is the best of the best. So I went there, and I went from being arguably the most skilled at the school, going to another team. I couldn't even get looking. I could train with them, but I couldn't get on the team.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that was a big shock for me. I was like, okay, so
there's
I am
levels to this.
nowhere near. Do you know what I mean? There are levels to this.
Yeah. So what did that mean that you then kind of had to kind of readjust your aspirations? I think a lot of people
do you know what?
don't.
To be fair, I'm thinking back to then. Basketball was something I wanted to do professionally, but I think even before I got there, that had faded a bit. So I still wanted to play, I still loved it, but it wasn't something that I wanted to pursue in that way. And even if I did, do you know what I mean? I couldn't get in the team. So,
So all right, so your aspirations changed then. So when did you have a new goal, a new profession at that point?
Yes. Timelines specifically, I'm not sure about, but I know that the next real thing that engaged me was music and singing.
Okay.
And this was still in secondary school, but it was quite late on. This is like the Shy performance.
I was literally just about to say that. Yeah. Do you remember that?
You know what? I remember it vaguely. It was me, you,
Me,
someone else,
you.
right?
I know. I think Orhan was there.
Orhan, Melvin, Melvin.
I'm not sure. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you know. It's funny story. You know how I resented Melvin for like 2 years, from first year to year 9. I resented that guy because he took the starring role in that Little Shop of Horrors, and it was only me and him that went up for the role of the plant in that. Remember the musical?
Hold on. But what year were we when that happened?
We was either first year or second year.
Was it that early on?
Yes, that was because I remember I was in Oliver later on, when I was Bill Sykes in Oliver. That was probably year 10, year 11, probably year 10, but definitely either first year or second year, probably second year. I'm not sure whether maybe. And I remember I sang that Boys to Men tune, End of the Road, for the audition, and I thought I killed it. And I was sure I had the part. I was like, yeah, levels, like I was like, yeah, this is my moment, all of this. And then Melvin got the part. And every time I saw him, my heart was just like, oh, God, stand this. And I couldn't stand the guy for like a good 2 years. So funny. But yeah, so,
I've got a story I've got a story about that audition as well, actually. Because I went up for it, but not for your role. I went up for chorus, I think.
Yeah.
And I got so nervous. Like I got so nervous that I just couldn't perform. I crumbled. And I remember I crumbled in front of Amma. Do you remember Amma in the year above?
Maybe.
You're not sure, maybe.
I think everybody, to be fair and honest, I think everybody remembers Amma. Everybody in our year and our generation remembers her sports day. That was every single boy in the year with any sense was front row for that race, for that 100 meters.
Yeah, man. It's so it wasn't good.
Yeah.
It didn't turn up.
Yeah. So that has sort of, I was literally, when you was talking about music and I was thinking, my first thought was like, I don't even remember you being into music. And then I think it probably was you that kind of even organised that Shy performance. Now I'm thinking, because I don't feel like I did. I don't know. I don't necessarily think Orhan would have. So I'm thinking it must have been you.
In terms of the other person that was in it, could it have been Leon Toppin? Because there was definitely another person.
Yeah, I feel like there was 4 people. Maybe 3 people, but yeah, I think there was definitely at least 4. And I know it was me, you, and Orhan definitely, but there was at least one other person, which I can't place at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But yeah, like I say, I definitely. Go on.
How did we do? Was it good? Was it any good?
We got. But to be fair, I think all of us were either super popular or just liked as people. So now I look at it with objective eyes. Sure. I don't even know how much we smashed it or whether it was just pity cheers. But I feel like we got a good reaction, if I'm honest. I didn't come off the stage feeling anything other than, like your heart beating just from the nerves of doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't feel like we shamed ourselves or anything. I feel like we done good and I was proud of what we did. Yeah, it was good. That was, and as I say, I feel like it must have been you that kind of drove that or assembled the team.
It might have been. It might have been.
I feel like it was. So yeah, you were saying about music. So that was your next love after basketball.
Yeah.
Even though you probably still like basketball, but your next passion.
Music was like when music came along, that became another very, very serious thing that I was able to become active in. And what happened is initially I wanted to be in my older brother's group, and he just kept on saying, no, you can't. Him or other members of the group kept on saying, no, you can't, because you can't sing. I was like, fair enough, and I kept on trying because I couldn't sing. I just couldn't sing. And then what happened is on one residential, and I don't know how this happened. I swear the people that were there would attest to this. So it's Shy Again, If I Ever Fall in Love, the same tune.
Right.
So we had to sing it, and no one wanted to sing the lead. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll do it. So we sang it, recorded it, and then the next day we were listening to the recording. And I listened to my voice and I was like, is that me? And everyone was impressed. But for me, I was like, wait, that can't be me because that sounds really, really good. Like literally, I couldn't sing. Or I just didn't know how to. And then all of a sudden, I don't know whether the spirit moved me or whatever. But from there, I was like, okay. And then from that residential, I was like, yep, we're in this group. Let's start rehearsing. Let's start practicing. And it was all Boys to Men, NSYNC, any kind of harmony, any groups that were harmony, I was on it. And then we kept on rehearsing. And it progressed from there. And I kept on doing it for years.
Years, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, college kind of dipped, and then when I went to uni, it kind of reignited again. And I remember winning. Wait, did I actually win? No, I was a second winner in a competition at uni. And then soon after that, J Love Music was born. For the people that know, they know who J Love Music is. That's another lifetime.
Okay, another incarnation, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, all right.
That
so,
piece band back in.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You say video? No.
Yeah. I went like really, really deep into music. Is what I want to do. It's really what I want to do. Like, did many performances, had a show called J Love Music Presents where I kind of hosted other performers, and yeah, man, it was good.
So you writing music as well?
Yeah. I've got more than an album worth of music.
Okay. Do you like that segue from writing music? You know where we're going next?
Yeah.
So yeah, writing. Like I mentioned in the intro, I was just saying that about this performance and this production. It's not even just the performance, because the performance was amazing, by the way. But as a production, the writing, the production, the performance, the professionalism, the venue, the set, everything was, if not just your vision, you and your wife or the team's vision. Yeah, when did you transition from I'm gonna be, I don't know, the next Raphael Sadiq to to kind of that amazing thing that I saw a couple of years ago?
Okay, so singing was, I did like quite a big concert in 2007,
Right.
and that was supposed to be an EP launch. Invested a lot into it, and it was a success in terms of the people that came, and the audience seemed to receive it as well. But I went away being disappointed for various different reasons. It just didn't. It wasn't what I wanted it to be, or I didn't feel like it went that way. And unfortunately, from there, I kind of started to pull away slightly from music. And then what happened is I spoke to a friend of mine at the time who had also performed at one of the shows, a well-known actor now called Arinze. And it was like, yeah, he's going to this part-time school. And I was saying, oh, this is interesting, because he was doing well as well. He said, you should audition, like just try it out and see what happens. So I did. I got in. I was like, amazing, got into like the top class. And then very soon after that, I think, comparatively, compared to the music, I got a play, like a professional play, and acting just moved quicker. It was just a bit more fluid than the music was, which in itself was positive, and it kind of gave me a buzz. But it reignited something. If I'm honest, I had from when I was a child. Like, but even before music, acting was something I wanted to do, and if I think about it, I just forgot. Do you know what I mean? I forgot, because my first experience with acting was at Elwood with my sister. This is when I was still in primary school. I was in a production they had called Whale.
Okay.
And for me, it was just amazing. It was just, everything about it was amazing. So that happened, went into school, and then always kind of liked the drama in school. When we went on the residentials, did you ever go on the drama residential?
Yeah, I think I've been on 2, maybe 3 of them.
Okay, I loved that. That was like my
Definitely.
favorite part of school.
Probably was up there for me as well, to be fair.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed that. So when that happened, it just felt right. It felt right. I had a connection with it, and it was moving forward. So there was progression. So I was there for a few years, left there, but was still doing the acting, and then was doing like not part-time, short films and just various small different things. Okay. And then I was thinking to myself, look, I really want to pursue this. I want to be able to have no limits. And one thing I didn't mention before in terms of my dad and his support and just how he was with us is when I was going to go to uni initially, I ended up studying engineering at Brunel. But when I was going to go, drama school was an option. Not that I got in anyway, but just was something I was thinking about. And I posed it to him. Again, this is a Nigerian parent. He said, if you want to do it, I'll support you. I was like, okay. And I remember that. He said, yes, I could have gone, but I just decided not to. But anyway, fast forward, I thought to myself, look, I don't want any limitations. This is what I want to do. So let me go to drama school. Let me try at least. And at this point, I'm like 29, 30, maybe oldest 31. But I'm past uni age. I've finished uni, all that kind of stuff, years out. So the first year, I filled out the application form, and I think it was for RADA, and I missed the deadline. Like, do you know what I mean? Maybe that was subconscious. I missed the deadline. I think the second year it happened again. I just didn't do it. And then the third year, I was like, you know what? Okay, let me do it. Found the course, found 2 places that accepted mature students.
Right.
So I applied for both, done auditions for both, got into one. That was like, oh my God, I won the lottery. But one thing that I said was, if I get in at my age, then they are investing in me. And therefore, this is something that I can seriously pursue. So I got into Guildhall, done the 3 years, and to kind of get to the point of the question, in our third year, we were given the opportunity to choose a solo project, whereby we would have to do everything. So the only requirements were that you had to create it. It could be anything. It could be bouncing off the walls. It could be singing, anything you wanted to. But the only thing is you had to create it. So I said to them, look, are you sure? Like, are you sure that I can write anything that I want? They're like, yeah, definitely. I'm like, are you sure? They said, yes. So A Day in the Life was created. It was born out of frustration. It was born out of pain, and out of the need to just express.
So where did this pain come from? Where did this need to express? Was there something that was happening? Was there something specific that was happening? Was it just an accumulation of things that you'd seen or experienced over the years?
Accumulation of everything. Accumulation of things I'd seen outside to other people, with other people, things that have happened to me, circumstances, and the kind of atmosphere and energy of the institution itself. You know,
maybe give a bit of context before you go further. Like, just maybe, obviously not give away the whole story, but maybe just to say A Day in the Life is a performance, and what is the general, I don't know, the blurb.
Okay. So A Day in the Life is basically the charting of the story of a young black man that is wrongfully accused of a crime he didn't commit, and is sentenced to serve a certain period of time in prison. And it charts that journey just prior to that, and the experiences that he has whilst he's in prison. But it 2 things that it does, or 2 things I wanted it to do, is to show people this experience from the point of view that you don't see, because most of the time it's always from external people, whether it's the police point of view, whether it's the family. You never see it from the individual. So that's the first thing I want to do: show what is this human being, what does he like, what's his taste, who is he, and then how does he cope with these things that he's faced with. And then the other thing, what was I going to say? I've lost what I was going to say.
All right, so.
But sorry, let me expand on that a little bit more.
Yeah, feel free.
It investigates. It unapologetically investigates the dynamics in society, and the pressures and the abuses that we suffer as black people. And it does it in a way where it's not just an argument. It's not just saying, look what's happened to me. It just explores it in a context with different elements that people can relate to. So it presents it in a way where people are perhaps forced to see this person as maybe someone they know. Oh, that could be me, or that could be my brother, or that could be my dad, rather than it being something distant, something that, oh, that person did this, so therefore that happened to them. Or black people have this experience. No, for any race, any creed, this could actually be me, because I understand that thing that he said, or I understand that feeling. That's basically what I wanted to do with it.
I think you've done it brilliantly, if I'm going to be all the way honest with you, man. I think you've done it brilliantly. It was something that as I've said, my missus raved about it and enjoyed it. And like I said, she's really hard to be impressed. But I can speak for myself that I was, I don't even think impressed is the right word. I personally thought it was like, maybe it's a bit dramatic, but like I thought it was a marvel of a piece on so many levels. Just obviously knowing you and your performance, like I'm impressed by good acting anyway. So on that front, great. But knowing that you had written, produced, it was all like, it's all something that has come out of the mind of you. I was looking at it from, obviously I was in the moment experiencing it as a play, but I also was able to kind of think about, because I like to write anyway, thinking about the writing of it, thinking about how hard it is to tell a story in a way for people to kind of to really invest, you know? And I just found myself really investing in the story and in the experience, and I felt like the whole theatre did, like the round of applause at the end, and you know, the when you look at people, you know, like you might look around at people at certain moments and you just see the engagement. I just thought it was an amazing piece of work, man. I'm sure you are proud, but you should just be so proud of it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. That means a lot. That really, really
Yeah.
does mean a lot. I mean, part of what I wanted to do with that is almost allow the audience to experience what I'm feeling. Do you know what I mean? This isn't new. This is what acting is. So, you know, forgive me for saying that, because that's just what acting is. But that was really my aim, to get them to fully understand, if this thing happens, how it makes me feel, and see if they can connect to that at the same time. You know, and also putting things into it. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Putting things into it. That's big head number 4. Putting things into it where the things that I like what excites me. Do you know what I mean? When I see something, what are the things that make me think, oh wow, or you know, make me really affected, or make me really impassioned? And then I'm thinking, okay, that's what affects me like that. How can I put that on the page, and how can I give that to the audience? Do you know what I mean? Because it really bubbles with me, and maybe it might have the same effect on other people. So when the kind of response the play has had is something I could never have dreamed of, people giving so much love and receiving the piece so much. I just didn't expect that. So I am continually overwhelmed by how much people, not only the fact that they feel that like that, but that they're willing to say it, that they're willing to tell me, that they're willing to record it, because we have reviews as well. Do you know what I mean?
I bet you do.
Actually put on tape and say, I'm like, it's a lot, man. It's something. It gives back for all the hard times, for all the rejection, for how tough the industry is, for how tough putting on a piece is, for how tough putting on a piece like this is. That pays it back.
All right, let's go there. Let's go there. How hard was it to make that happen? Because from the outside looking in, it's going to be like, all right, cool. Right, you write this thing, maybe, and then you perform it at your drama school for your end of year thing. It happens, and then maybe you get all these rave reviews in from the classmates or however it happens, and now you want to take it to the big stage. You want to put it in a theatre, and you want to for people to pay and be satisfied with paying their money and seeing this thing and sharing this vision with the world. How difficult was it to make that happen?
It was difficult, to answer the question, but it was a process that had different stages, because after it was performed at my drama school, it was then chosen to go to the Netherlands as part of a mini tour along with 2 other pieces. So that gave it another life. And I forgot to mention that when it was initially written, it was a short piece. It was 20 minutes. And these are all solo pieces. So it's a solo piece. It was 20 minutes. Then it went to the Netherlands. Again, it was the same length of time. And it done well there. The two other people I went with, it was like a really good experience for all three of us. You know, performing in a different country is it tastes different. It feels different. There's different, you know, it gives you a different perspective, you know, which obviously makes sense. Then after that, I did a play with a company called Knee-High, and part of that play went to the US. The play itself that I did with Knee-High went to the US, called 946. The amazing story of Adolphus Tips. Really, really good piece. So anyway, when we were there, I said to my missus, look, if we're gonna go to America, let's put on my play. Like, let's do it. Let's try and do it. Cut a long story short, we did. We ended up getting a lot of support from the first theatre that we were doing 946 at. They allowed me to have free space. I have to give credit and just love to Berkeley Rep in Berkeley, because they gave me free space to write, to rehearse, and to perform the piece. You know, and there was even someone there that assisted in like mentoring as well. So that allowed the piece to grow to a greater length. And I think by the time we finished there, it was maybe 45 minutes or so. Then we went from Berkeley to LA, and again it expanded a little bit. We went and we put it on again. Then went from LA to New York, put it on again. And by the end of New York, I think it was maybe an hour, either just shy of an hour or just over an hour. So now we have a fully formed piece, and it's got reviews from the US. People are really gravitating to it. And what was interesting is it was received really well, but part of what happened is they were a bit surprised that it was written by me, who was from the UK, because they're like, oh, but like, okay, so it's based in the US, right? Like, no, it's based in the UK. Okay, like that surprises me, because we didn't realize that you go through this kind of thing. You know, they have their experience and they don't realize that we're connected to that, like we have a shared experience. Come to London, put it on twice again, which was relatively easy. Since then, it just became difficult. So the two times we put on when we came back were preview performances. So really short performances, a few days, both went well. And then after that, it just became quite difficult to put on again. And I think it took probably about a year, if not a little bit longer, to put on. And I think that's where you came, because you came to see it in Hackney, right? Yeah, I'll call the theatre in Hackney. And it's just, I think
it was it Arcada?
No,
Not the Barbican, not the Barbican, no?
No, it wasn't the Barbican. It might not have been Arcada that you came to. Did you come to it was either Camden, was it Camden?
No, I think he was right first time. I think it was Arcada, I think.
Arcada, okay. Dalston.
Yeah, I think it was.
I'm not sure which one you came to. I'm not sure which one you came to. It might have been, are you sure it wasn't Camden?
I don't think it was Camden. I don't think it was.
Okay. And it wasn't Theatre 503.
It wasn't which one?
It wasn't Theatre 503. No, it wasn't Theatre 503.
Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember where it was, man, but I know I saw it.
Okay. Yeah, putting on work is hard. Anyone.
What were the challenges, though? What were the challenges? Why was it so? Why did it take you a year? Was it rejection? Was it people not believing in the vision?
It's rejection. It's people not. So for someone to say yes, they're going to invest money in a piece and you can put it on, they need to be sure that that's going to make money. They need to be sure that people come. They need to be sure that it's going to work. And also, it then has to also fit into the program of what they're trying to do. So there's many things, many hoops that you have to jump through before you can then be able to put on work. And I think because of the play itself, because of the nature of it, unfortunately, I think that in many ways, a lot of theatres aren't, I don't want to say they're not ready for it, but I don't know. Once they see it, or once they see that it works, maybe their perception might change. But it's only recently that the whole world is saying Black Lives Matter, you know?
Yeah.
And I have to be honest. It's been difficult and it's been tough to not be able to put on a play that when people come and see it, they say, we really like this play, it should be on. And I try and take that to other people and say, look what these people are saying. They're saying they really like this play, it should be on. But then it's just you all the stars have to be aligned for it to happen. That's what I can say. And I think that I've been lucky, I've been persistent. I think that it really is a matter of it being the right time, because another thing is, as much as the rejection hurt, and as much as, like, there's one particular theatre a few years ago that it could have gone to, or they were kind of interested and then they pulled out. If it had gone there, you know, it would have been a game changer. However, it not going there actually provoked me to write 2 other elements, which now elevate the piece. And depending on where you saw it, you might have seen that or not. And I think back and think, wow, like, if that happened at that point, there's no way these elements would have been introduced to the play. It just wouldn't have happened. Would I be willing to lose that? So it's
perspective.
A real,
That's an amazing way to view things. It's important. That's an important thing.
Definitely. Because, like, no doubt something would have happened. Even if it was just that it would have got a full run and more eyes would have been on it, and then maybe that might have elevated my status. Like, something, whatever it was, would have happened just because of the venue that it was. But thinking back now, I'm grateful that it didn't. You know, I'm really, really grateful that it didn't. And rejection is part of this process. Any actor, any creative will tell you that rejection is part of the journey. And I think that I'm still learning how to properly understand that. Because some people might be, yeah, I understand that, but not for me. Or, yeah, I understand that, but until when? You know, there's some people that spend 10 years trying to do something. And then after the 10th year, the 11th year, what they achieve is so profoundly greater than anything they've tried to come up to prior to that, anything they've tried to attain prior to that. So perspective is key. It's key to keep balance, to keep your sanity, to, you know, keep the passion and the drive.